Old man in trouble, trapped on an island. All around is an impassable sea. He fell and hurt himself. His entire body was paralyzed. Now the only thing that can move is a pair of hands. He was a strong man. After understanding everything, he immediately started to save himself. Desert islands are small. The old man soon discovered his cell phone fell on a stone in the distance. He didn't act right away, but waiting. When the sun is overhead, the mobile broadcast is now 12 o'clock. Hearing the sound, the old man became excited. The battery life of the elderly machine can last for half a month. This phone can save lives. The distance is only 10 meters. The old man subconsciously remembers himself, but the body doesn't respond. I couldn't even lift my head. He just remembered his situation. He can only drag his body with both hands grasping the sand. It took all my effort. It only moved half the distance forward. The old man's weak gasps. Just this 10 meters distance is as difficult as climbing to the sky. He felt a sore throat. Thirst strikes. He was desperate for water. The old man felt his hands around, only touched the wet sand. He grabbed a handful and was about to put it in his mouth. Suddenly I noticed that something moved not far away. It's a rabbit doll that my grandson left him. The doll shook its head in disgust. He started talking about strange topics. Do you remember when you first moved to a new house? The neighbor's children play football, accidentally broke the glass of your house. The child was terrified and kept apologizing. You tell him, "Go get the money and pay me for this glass. I'm the new kid who has the money," only to be scared later. He went to school and stole someone else's money to pay for it. After that, you have always been strict in the eyes of your neighbors. Person, they need to know that you're so embarrassed that you eat sand to survive. Gotta laugh at you behind your back. The old man did hesitate, but he still couldn't resist the hunger and shoved sand in his mouth. What emerges from the sand is fresh water. The old man sucked and gave him some strength back. But his dignity, in doll, it was also trampled on in the eyes of contempt. The old man stared at the doll viciously. "What are you? I'm just a puppet." The old man wanted to throw him into the sea, but thinking that it was left by his grandson, he was reluctant. The setting sun shines on the old man's face. The temperature gradually decreases. Looking at the sea that cuts off hope. Loneliness and cold hit at the same time. Why am I so unlucky? Not just you, there are many people who have been through the same situation. The old man woke up from a coma and spent the night. The sun rises again. The old man drew some fresh water from the sand. The body is weaker than yesterday. He's looking at his phone in the distance. With all my strength, I took another step forward, just 2 steps away from the baby jumping. Don't show off in front of me. When I was young, an egg that jumps 50 kilograms can jump up. This is your problem. You haven't accepted the fact that you're old. The old man's response is stubborn. Climbed another step forward. I heard something. The doll suddenly pricked up its ears. The old man turned his head hard. I really saw the shadow of the plane. He shouted. Can't even make a sound. The island is shaded by coconut trees. The plane can't see what's going on here at all. Just flew away. The old man sighed, but it didn't stop. Keep crawling in the direction of the phone. Why are you so obsessed with your phone? You didn't even learn how to make a phone call with it. I got a text on my phone. It was a text message from my son. Said that he has been too busy recently because of his grandson's school. Call me as soon as he's done. As long as the call comes, whether it is received or not, he knew I was in trouble. Mention son. The old man smiled with relief. My son has been working hard at school. High school on a roll. Later, I went to a first-tier big city. He also took route there to marry and have children. He is very proud every time he mentions his son. He really works hard. Wow, that's a strange topic again. Do you remember when your son was in high school? One day he came to me with a box. It turns on a radio. He excitedly said to you, he bought it for you with the money from a math contest. Then you teach him. If you had money, you have to use it to buy stationery. What's the use of the radio? I don't like hearing that. Take it and return it. You have always had a serious relationship with your son. You believe it's your own high standards that made him successful. The old man ignored the doll's strange smile. That's how I feel. The old man will continue to climb forward when he rests. Wow, I suddenly said don't crawl. You want me to give up? How is that possible? Think about it. Even if you get a call, what if you were rescued? Look at your current body. Will you still have the ability to take care of yourself in the future? At that time, your son will take care of you reluctantly. How ugly. The old man was stunned for a while. Why are you old? Think I'd be embarrassed by this kind of thing? Actually, I don't care. Then do you remember that time you're going to bed for a week because of a minor surgery? Your son took time off to take care of you. You keep complaining that he should go to work. When he was washing your body, a look of disgust. You were reflecting through the mirror. I was stunned when I accidentally saw it. Have you forgotten the emotions at that time? You're terribly crippled now. Needed care for more than a week. The old man has been trying his best to refute. But this time he was silent. But then the old man's eyes became firm again. Keep climbing. The sun is already overhead. The old man felt hungry after not eating for 2 days, and it quickly peaked. Fresh water in the sand, but you can't eat sand. The old man looked around. I found that occasionally a few small crabs ran around. There are still a few dead fish lying near the sea. The old man grabbed the crab and stuffed it into his mouth without hesitation. The taste is still a little sweet. I ate a lot of crabs. It's much better to have something in your stomach. The doll asked me, I really admire your perseverance. I thought you were just going to break down. The old man stared at the doll and it made him feel furious, because I think of my grandson. I have to persevere. When it comes to grandchildren, the elderly are more proud. He's better than his dad. His dad just went to a first-tier big city, and he went to study abroad. Going far shows that there is a future. Who in the neighborhood can go abroad? My grandson is the most powerful, and my grandson clings to me the most when he is a child. Every summer vacation, I come to my grandpa's house. So he clung to me when he was a kid. You take me with you wherever you go. But when he grew up, Matt gained consoles and more fun. I was abandoned by you. While looking at the old man meaningfully.